everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and that's my homeboy Face up there in that corner.
Wow, what's that in the world?
Yeah, man. Hey, I first and foremost, I want to apologize for the view that we're using right now. We're gonna try and find something a little bit better, something that's gonna suffice. But right now, this where we at. Okay, we've been having a lot of technical difficulties, whether it be because I'm fracturing my ankle, you know what I mean, or Face got a crazy schedule. But we're gonna try to get this thing right, man. I know we got a lot to catch up on. So the first thing we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into right now is this NBA matchup between the Minnesota Timberwolves and
That OKC
OKC Thunder Buddies.
Thunder.
Yes, low. All right, man. So first and foremost, man, let's take a look at this matchup real quick. When I look at this matchup right now, okay, the line right now is set at OKC -7. Over under is set at 216. Okay, 216 and a half some places. Depends on where you look at. You know what I mean? Actually, it went up. My bad. 218 and a half is where it's at right here on this sports book that I'm looking at right now. And then you look over here at several other sports books, man. There we go, right there. Come on, computer. Come on, catch your own. Let me stay in baseball. All right. Anyway, man. So yeah, it's 218 and a half. Line is OKC -7. Me and Face are on completely different sides right now. So this is gonna be an interesting conversation to say the least. You know what I mean? Because I gotta try to figure out why Face feels the way he feels. It don't make no sense to me. Okay, Face. I'm gonna let you go first. Like unless you want me to just give these people the
Hey,
stats and stuff
hey,
like that,
hey,
like I
I've,
normally
I've
do.
been I've
Okay.
I've been telling you, I'm locked in with Vegas. You hear me?
Okay.
I'm
So
locked in with Vegas. What you said don't make sense. It makes perfect sense because it's gonna make a lot of dollars to a lot of people. Because everybody watching that same thing you watching. You got a lot of people who love to go with those stats and new stats are created every day. And I'm gonna tell you one thing: Minnesota is gonna get swept, and they get covered on the night with a 7.5. They didn't know.
Face. Face. Okay. So I'm gonna give you the stats, and then I'm gonna give you why I feel like this, right?
Hold
So
on. I'm gonna
I'm
give
let
you.
me let me let me let me give you the
Okay,
numbers
go
real
ahead.
quick, man. Let me
I'm
give you the
listening.
numbers right now. So
I'm
in the last 10 times these two teams played, Minnesota's up 6-4. Okay. In the last 10 times they have played against the spread, Minnesota's up 6-3 and 1. That means they've covered 6 times, didn't cover 3 times, and 1 time it locked up on it. Okay. It's 4 to the over and 6 to the under the last 10 times they played. So far, when you're looking at this season, they played 4 times. Out of the 4 times they played, it was 2-2 straight up. Minnesota 3-1 against the spread, bro. Okay. Now the only spread that was covered so far this season was a -6.5. That was way back on December 31st. Okay, the score was 113 to 105. But when you look at the rest of the games, February 13th, 116 to 101. February 23rd, 130 to 123. Okay, my bad. But that 116 to 101, that was Minnesota winning. So then it was 1-1. Then in game three, February 23rd, it's
Hey,
130 to 123.
hey,
OKC wins. That's in Minnesota. Then you go back to
hey,
OKC now on February
hey.
24th, the very next day, and Minnesota smacked that ass. FOT 131 to 128, bro.
This the playoffs, baby.
I know it
This the
is.
whole. Listen. This is what I'm saying. You got Ant Edwards, right?
Yeah. Who's going to go
And
under in
who
his
else?
points, by the way?
Hold on.
Anybody want to take that? Take
And who
Edwards
else?
under the 26 and a half points.
Who else though? Ant Edwards has to score 26 for them to even stay close.
He's
Minnesota don't have no. Okay, after Nas Reed, who else gonna give you 18 or better?
um ex-Laker, Julius Randle.
Okay, Randall.
Okay. Yeah, Julius
Nah,
Randle.
nah. Go to OKC
Mm-hmm.
from the top 5 to the bench.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say that. You got 2, 3 players going against a machine. OKC just got shook messing with Joker and them. But you got to understand, Joker and them, that's a whole different pedigree. They supposed to make it look like that. The Denver
No,
Nuggets
no,
was supposed to make
You
OKC
right.
looked like that. They're a younger team, less
Hey,
experienced. They still fought their way through. Once they fought through that fight, I'm telling you what they're gonna do. They're gonna destroy Minnesota, man.
man.
Minnesota really ain't a good team like that. I'm not gonna say they're not a good team. I take that back, but they rely too much on one person. They rely too much on one person. If Ant Edwards don't have a good game, Julius Randle is a joker. He's a joker wild. He
Yeah,
been playing consistent better lately. He has been more consistent
yeah.
lately. I got to give a person room to grow. But at the end of the day, he's a joker wild with Ant Edwards. That's all you have really in Minnesota. Nas Reed, I got to give Nas Reed. He come off the bench. He do what he's supposed to do. But I just feel like OKC is a better team, and they're a way deeper team. And 7 points, that ain't nothing to cover. Not in the playoffs. Not in the playoffs when you trying to make a statement. You feel what I'm saying? SGA ain't have a good series last year. He really didn't have a good series last year,
He ain't
but
had a
he
good
did it.
playoff. He ain't had a good playoff, bro. He ain't had a
But
good
guess what?
playoff. You know what I'm
But
saying?
they had 140 points, and he only scored 20, 22 or something like that. He ain't had that much. That's what I'm telling you. This is the most dangerous player right now on the NBA floor by himself. SGA. You dig what I'm saying?
He is. Because listen, he play offense, he play defense. I get it. But we talking about the legend killer. We talking about the giant slayer.
Man,
We
that man
talking
ain't
about
killed nobody. He
he,
killed old ass
we talking
LeBron
about
James. Stop it. He
he
killed
killed
old ass
Luca, he
LeBron
killed
James and a
Luca,
bad
he
body
killed
Luca.
Luca, he killed LeBron James,
Man, stop
he
it, man.
killed
He took
Steph
it.
Curry, he
That was
killed
a
old
cakewalk, man.
bullets, goddamn triple single,
That was a cakewalk,
Draymond
man.
Green. He like, yeah, he the
That's
slayer, dog.
why. That's why I'm telling you right
He
now.
done took out the Joker
Who took out the Joker?
last year.
Huh? You talking about
Last
last year?
year.
You talking
I'm talking
about
about this
last
year
year?
and last
Hold
year.
on, hold on,
This year
hold on.
and last
Hey,
year.
Trey,
Last year,
Trey,
he took
Trey.
out Joker.
One thing we
This
ain't
year,
doing,
it
we
was
ain't doing.
LeBron, it was goddamn Luca, and
Hold
it was
on.
Steph Curry.
Hey, listen. This year he took out a hobbling old LeBron James
Yeah, he did that.
and
He did
and
that.
and a, and a
What
Luca
about Luca?
and Luca
Luca
wasn't
ain't
full throttle.
old. Luca ain't
But what I'm
hobbling.
saying, what I'm saying is this: Ant was going against a lot of youth, just like him, just as quick, just as energetic, play
Yeah.
defense. It ain't gonna be no cakewalk for. And who gonna stop these boys? I'm just trying to figure this out. I know if Ant Edwards don't have a good game, Minnesota is dead. You got 2 7-footers down there. Julius Randle ain't doing none of that. What he was doing, he's not doing none of that. What he was doing.
What's Nas Reed
So
gonna do?
who?
Nas Reed.
No, he ain't gonna do nothing. He gonna get on. He gonna get on count.
I
You
like
know what he
Nas
gonna
Reed
do?
over 1.5 threes all day in America.
Man,
All day in
he
America.
might shoot that. But
All
you,
day in
you got
America.
Chet
I like
Holmgren.
Nas Reed
You
over
got
one and a
Chet
half
Holmgren,
threes.
7-footer move just like him. This the difference. Hardenstein play defense.
Hold up, the
Dort
line that
plays
went down.
defense.
Line went
SGA plays
down. Money
defense.
came in on the Timberwolves. Line and came down to 6.5.
It don't matter. They're trying to trick you.
Man, they ain't trying to trick me. I'm gonna tell you what you take now, dog.
It's close
I'm
to
gonna tell
7
you what you
o'clock.
take.
Listen, man, I
I
just got
know
a
it's
call
close to
from
7 o'clock.
Vegas, man.
I know it's close. I know it's close to 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna tell you what you take now. You're gonna go ahead and take that Timberwolves over 1 and 4.5. That's what you take. You take the Timberwolves
Hey,
over one
listen.
and four and a half,
Hey.
and you go to sleep
Go
tonight. You
ahead.
don't even
Go
watch the
ahead.
game.
Go
You
ahead.
know what I'm
Go ahead. You ain't,
saying?
you ain't gonna get no good sleep tonight. Go ahead. Go ahead. Take Minnesota with the 6.5.
Man,
And
please.
Oklahoma tonight. Take
Hey,
it. Hey, listen. You think they blew up Oklahoma by that'll be a real bomb. If you take them.
hey, McVay ain't in OKC right now.
Huh? He
I
I
said
know
McVay
I
ain't in
know he ain't.
OKC right now.
I know he ain't. Hussein Bolt is.
I'm not
They finna
saying,
blow that shit
look,
out.
I'm not saying Minnesota gonna win the whole thing. I'm saying OKC gonna lose 2 games
I
in this
understand.
series, bro.
Okay, you. Hey,
And
listen. This is
game
what I'm
one is the
saying.
first one.
This is what I feel. I'm not saying. This is what I feel. I feel like it's gonna be a blowout tonight. So you know why I say that? You know why I say that?
So you like
Oh,
the over 218 and a half.
okay, so you got to take it over. Minnesota might score. I'm gonna tell
So
you what
so in other
Minnesota.
words, hold up.
Minnesota might score 97.
So hold up. So in other words, you like the Thunder over 111 and a half. That's all I'm saying. Over 111 and a half.
I do. I think they're gonna
Okay.
score like probably like one, probably what 114, 115.
I can
I
respect
think I
that.
think I think Minnesota gonna have like 97, 98, maybe. You feel me?
Face.
Maybe a for real. I don't even know if they're gonna bust 100 more. Cause you know what?
Wow.
You gonna have to have a surprise player come and do it. Cause they're gonna double and triple Ant. They're not gonna let Ant Edwards beat them. It's the
No, that's
playoffs.
why. That's why I'm
You
telling you.
look
And
at
Edwards.
so
Look, that's
guess
why I'm
what?
telling you.
It's somebody else gonna have to show up, buddy. That's all I'm telling you.
Face.
It's
That's
just a
why I'm
different.
telling you. That's why I'm telling you. Take Ant Edwards under the 26 and a half, and then went down to 25 and a half. So that tells you right there, because it was at 26 and a half earlier.
They
So you're going to
they
take the under, and Ant Edwards, he ain't going to make it to that 25 and a half. It's going to go under that. You take Nas Reed. When we go down to these
not. But see,
threes,
this what's gonna
you
hurt
take Nas
Minnesota.
Reed over one
This
and a
what's gonna
half
hurt.
threes.
You know what's gonna hurt Minnesota,
What?
and I'm gonna say this: the inside, the bigs. They're not gonna be able to score enough points with their bigs.
They don't need to
Gobert's not
score
gonna
points with their
score.
bigs. They don't
Gobert
need
not gonna
Gobert to
score.
score. They don't need
Huh?
Gobert to score. They don't need Gobert to score.
You gonna
They
need
don't need
something
Gobert. You
bro.
got
You when you
you
playing.
got hold on,
Listen, you
man.
might not need
Listen,
that
man.
with certain teams,
Listen, man. You got
but when you
Dante
in the playoffs, listen,
DiVincenzo.
Trey, when you in
Okay.
the playoffs, locked in a series like this, you gonna have to have some big activity. Your
You don't
bigs
think
gonna have
Jay
to.
McDaniels gonna show up, man?
Man, listen,
You
who
don't
you
think
gonna
Nas
dump it
Reed gonna
down to
show
when
up,
you need a
man?
bucket? You can't keep going with this jump shot, fadeaway jump shot shit, bro. What
Anyway,
Ant would
jump
be
shot.
doing? I'm just saying, when they need a bucket, you got to go to Ant, right? They gonna clog that paint. They got 2 7-footers. You're not.
That's
You
why I
got
like.
Lou
That's
Dort.
why.
Hold on.
That's
You
why I
got
hope.
Lou Dort. You got all these different defenders can stay in front of you. Shea Gilchrist will try to stay in front of you. So it's gonna be real hard for Ant Edwards to get these going to the basket
You
type.
ain't seen Edwards been getting assists. Same with Julius Randle. Julius
I
Randle's been
understand.
fucking
Hey,
dumping it off, man. You know what I mean? Like the ball
you
been
know,
moving over there. Yeah, like I understand what you're talking about because we've been watching some sorry behind basketball for these
cause
playoffs.
just
And I'm calling it right now. Sorry behind basketball we've been watching. They've been shooting, walk down the court, want to shoot a three, or dribble, 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 shoot a three, kick it out, shoot a three, dribble, kick it out, shoot a three. All y'all have missed threes. And that's in every series I've watched so far this playoff,
well,
man.
that's the
Sorry
you know that's
behind
the new
basketball.
NBA. It's they play a number game with the threes.
That ain't a
You put up
numbers
a
game
certain
when
amount
you
of
ain't
threes.
making it. If you ain't making
They
it,
every
and
team
I ain't
does that.
making it,
Every team do that
and
now.
ain't nobody on the team making it, then why are we keep shooting the three? And then why we keep shooting the three? If that's like keeping passing the ball if ain't nobody catching it. And keeping running the ball if ain't nobody running it. I'm gonna
Every team
like I got to try something else.
for
Try
every
something
team
else.
they done came up with it. That's part of the new NBA. A lot of these guys will be on the bench if they shot some of these threes they've been shooting in the play a long time ago. But just to be honest with you, if you look at some of the threes these dudes be shooting, if this was back in the days, well,
Somebody punch them in their face.
exactly. But
Punch them in
think
their
about
face,
this here.
dog.
This is the new wave. They look at a numbers game. If we put up 33s, even if we only hit X amount of threes, but we got to put up a certain amount of them to try to even come up with this number. That's the NBA. If you look at any NBA coach, they say, okay, we want to put up, look at Boston. They say we got to put up a certain amount of threes every game.
All right. Well, Faze, what's your play for the night in this game? What you like?
I like OKC.
Money line or minus the 7, minus the 6.5 now?
I just told you I like a blowout, so you know I'm gonna tell you straight up. I like them minus the 7, minus the
Okay.
8,
Minus the 6, 6.5, 8.
6.5,
Ladder it up. You want to
whatever,
ladder it up to 10?
whatever it
That
is.
you want
I
to ladder
really
it up to
do
10?
because I feel like
Okay,
they
go ahead. Say what you gonna say.
they had enough. They got enough rest in between. Shea ain't have to play that hard down the stretch. They
Man,
went
they
to
got
game
one night
7, but
rest. They got
huh?
one night rest right now. Okay, so you can ladder this all the way up right now. Okay, to the Thunder minus 14 for a plus 240, or the Thunder minus 10 a plus 140. I already got Minnesota plus 8. Okay, because I bought a point. You know, or half
So
a point. You know what I'm saying? Now,
I feel like they're gonna beat them by at least 10 for some reason. I might be
okay.
crazy. That's what you say.
What do you think
But
about the team total then? Do you so you like the Thunder team total over the 111.5? Yeah, you got to marinate on that for a second.
yeah, I got to think. All right, what the last score they scored on them?
Last times they played, last
Yeah,
times they
last three
played,
times. Just tell me
last
the
four
last three
times,
times.
last three.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last time was February 24th. It was 131 to 128 in overtime. That was in OKC. The line was Minnesota getting 12, and the over under was set at
And
227.
you
And they
said,
got
Ashley, do I like them over 112? Yeah,
yeah, hold up now.
yeah.
Then look. Look now. Then you look at the next game. Both teams went over this number again because it was in Minnesota. Score was 130 to 123, and that was on February
So,
23rd. Minnesota was getting 8.5. The over under was at 227.5. Then you look over on February 13th, like I said, February 13th, Minnesota went over the 105, but OKC didn't go over that 111. They only scored 101, and that was in Minnesota too.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah, I like well, to answer your question, I like them over the 111. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we
At
gonna find
home,
out.
first game at home, you got to make a statement. I'm telling you, I just see a team. I see they deep. They go for Alec Caruso, Wiggins. It just goes on. Joe,
Yo, look,
I'm telling
that's
you.
why. Look, I'm
So
telling you, I like the
how
Thunder
could you go
Buddies.
against
I
something like
like the
that?
Thunder Buddies, dog. I like them. That's my team to win the title this year. I like the Thunder Buddies. But when over your baby face gangster Jalen Brunson over there with the Knicks, or
Oh,
over
hey,
Holly
guess
Berry,
what? The Knicks gonna be too much for Indiana. Jalen Brunson is not gonna let. Trust me,
you ain't gonna
I
let Holly Berry
guarantee.
whoop him. Holly
Hey,
Berry,
listen, but I'm gonna tell you something. The
look, he make it
WWE
look
just
pretty in the end, man. That's
no, the
why I'm saying it's no
WWE just
disrespect when I'm
exposed
calling
the
man Holly
NBA
Berry.
too.
He
I
make it
don't even
look
know
pretty in
about.
the end.
Hey, you know the WWE exposed the NBA. You know you ain't see it.
I did. I did.
You see
It
who
was
they had on there
It was Brunson versus Halliburton, if I remember
days
correctly.
before days before
I
the
remember.
actual.
I remember. I remember.
But we gonna talk.
We gonna talk about it. We gonna see about it, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm
Hey.
telling you,
Mm-hmm.
I like New York over Indiana for the same reason. I like. I just feel like, for one, Jalen Brunson is not gonna let Tyrese and what they got in Indiana, which is Turner, they got in Cat. It's like they gained the same. So you feel me? The
Yeah.
wild card for the Knicks is OG Anunoby. If he scored 20 points, they're gonna beat him every game. If he scored 20 points every game, they'll
No,
beat
if
him
he
every
in
game.
any game OG or Ananobi step up, they gonna win the game. But
That's what he
at the end of the
said
day,
in the
what
last
I
thread.
done just watched with these Pacers and what I just watched with these Knicks are two teams that are gonna fight it out to the end. So like I wouldn't be surprised if either or won. That's why I just told you neither team is beating OKC when OKC make it because OKC gonna beat Minnesota. You know what I mean? But tonight, 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 this Ant Man night. Ant-Man night, he got the rest advantage. He been covered 3 out of the 4 games they played so far this year. Yeah, this Ant-Man. They ain't
If I
covered
don't get
they ain't
mine
covered
in,
no Ant-Man this
for
year.
the sake of your ticket, I hope you're right. I hope they don't cover.
Oh, we
Just
gonna
for
cover. We gonna cover. OKC might win, but
that, but
Minnesota gonna
that's what I'm
cover
saying.
that
Just
money.
for the sake of your ticket. If I don't
Minnesota
get
gonna
mine
cover that
in,
money.
you feel me? But you know, you know,
We gonna see. We
hey,
gonna
I'm gonna put
definitely
it.
see.
I gotta put it on the scale. Home team. You feel me?
You're low.
Better team.
You're
You
low.
feel me? And that shit go on and on. They keep dropping it on there. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
For real. Ant-Man, I respect dude, but I just feel like the coaching, the players they done bought in. Once they beat Denver was the team I felt like could have knocked OKC out just from the experience and the hype sometimes. Just when you go against certain players, you expect them to do certain things and then you bring it about. You feel what I'm saying? When people were playing Michael Jordan, sometimes they summons that demon themselves because they feared him so much till it actually came about. You feel me? Because they were waiting on it. I don't give a what kind of game Michael was having. They knew at some point in time they just waiting on it.
Yeah, they
So
just
it's
waiting
been
on
the
him to
same
come
way with
kill.
Joker. Joker got that same respect, and he got the same fear amongst his peers. We can say whatever we want to say about him, but we don't play against him. But getting on the court with him and playing against him, like you feel me? You might be like, okay, this
Look, I
motherfucker.
told you about White Wilt, man. You didn't want to listen to me about White Wilt. I tried to
No,
tell you about White Wilt last
listen,
year.
I just
I
said
tried
he
to
ain't
tell you
no
about White
he ain't
Wilt for the
no
last
Wilt.
2 years, man. I've been
He
telling you
just
about
who
White
he
Wilt.
is,
You want to disrespect the man. I've been telling you White Wilt like that, man.
bro.
White
I ain't
Wilt.
never disrespected that dude. I just feel like Wilt Chamberlain is Wilt Chamberlain. And he is who he is. I
I didn't
can't. You
say he
feel
was.
me?
I didn't say he was Wilt Chamberlain. I said he was
They game different.
like
Will Chamberlain ain't passing
Wilt.
the goddamn ball.
I'm not saying.
Will
I'm not.
Chamberlain
No,
gonna score
I'm
everything
not
he touch.
saying that. Wilt Chamberlain at his best was putting up triple doubles all day in America. Okay, at his best, he was I mean, not threes, but he was sitting
You
there
know what? You know what
getting in on
Joker?
the paint. He
You
was
know what
getting
Joker is
boards
for real?
and he was getting assists.
You know what Joker is?
There's
He is
nobody else like Joe. I
almost
ain't never seen the most. I ain't never seen the least athletic person ever do
listen.
what he does. What he do. He's the
That's what I'm
least
gonna
athletic.
say.
I'm not
This is what I'm gonna
saying what
say.
his athleticism will. I'm saying
No,
his game is will. He's only gonna
but
end up with
but
one title. Jokic is only gonna end up with one title, just like Will Chamberlain.
I ain't
That
gonna
ain't
say
no
he's
hot
only
take
gonna win
neither.
one title.
That's a fact. That ain't no hot take.
All he gotta do is switch teams and be like LeBron, and he could go get a title somewhere. If he,
All that
I'm
switching
just dead
teams is
set.
dead. All that's dead
No,
now
it
with
ain't.
the second apron. With the second apron, you finna see Boston gonna break up. You can't do that to do all that with the second apron now. All that switching teams and building a super team, that's dead. You want
But
the
you know what
draft
though?
like
It
OKC?
ain't been it ain't been a dominant big man like him since Shaq. But they dominate in different ways. But
Way
I don't
different.
know. You feel what I'm saying?
Way different.
Huh?
But Shaq, he ain't Shaq, dog.
No,
Shaq is a ring getter.
Shaq dominated in a different way. But Joker could dominate the game the same way. Cause guess what? He'll
He
come out and give
can,
you,
yeah.
yeah, he'll come out and give you 15 assists,
Yeah,
15 rebounds,
yeah,
and 27, 38. You know, it
yeah,
just
yeah.
so he can affect the game and he dominates, but not like Shaq dominated.
Not
But
like
at the same
Shaq.
time, they two different, but they both on big man to dominate the game.
Man,
You feel what I'm
listen.
saying? Yeah, they two different beasts. So I would say Joker is his own beast by itself, but I never say he no white will and all that. I
Yeah,
can't get
okay.
get nobody else no last name. The
I
boy
ain't giving
bite
him
too
a
hard,
last
but
name.
you feel
I
me?
said white. No, not Wilt Chamberlain.
Kobe, Kobe, Kobe closes the thing to Wilt right now. He scored 80 in the game. Wilt scored 100.
Face, I'm gonna let you live on that one. I've been sending you a lot of videos. A lot of videos so you can
When you
understand a
say
little
hold
bit
on, when you
more.
say Wilt
I've been
Chamberlain,
sending you a
guess
lot.
what you
I've
say?
been trying to
Guess
teach
what
you.
you saying?
I've been trying to bring you
A
up on
great
game.
scorer.
But I don't know. Wilt Chamberlain, great scorer, great rebounder, great passer. He did all three block shots. He did all four things,
Oh
bro.
yeah, he was out defense. He played
Yeah, he
hella
did
defense.
everything, dog. Just like Jokic. He can do everything. Now, is Jokic the most athletic? No, he's not. But he dominates the game the same way
But that's
Wilt
what make
did.
him unique. That's what make him
He's
unique.
a unit.
Cause guess what?
He's like Wilt was back then. Wilt
And guess
was a
what? Guess what
unicorn
they
back then.
first teach in basketball? Guess what they first teach in basketball, Trey?
What's up?
Pass beat the dribble. Pass, you
All
want to
day,
dribble and try to
all
dribble
day.
around people.
Yeah,
So guess what?
the pass
When he
beat the
can
dribble all
dominate
day in
like that, when you
America.
got a big man that can see everything like a spider, this dude see everybody that's open, bro, and get him the ball behind. So I never took nothing from him, but I just ain't want to give a person too much either, too early. You dig what I'm
I
saying?
ain't giving him too
But
much
I
too
never
early,
took
man.
nothing
The
from him.
man like that, man. The
He
man like
is.
that, man. You
I
ain't gonna
just
see.
said
You
that.
ain't gonna see another big man do what this white boy do. Like yeah, outside of what we've
I ain't
already
gonna say
seen
that because guess
statistically.
what?
So hold on
Guess
now.
what?
Statistically, you're not gonna see another big man do what you've seen this white boy do. Okay, you're not gonna see Wimby do what he's doing. because Wemby is too busy shooting threes. You're not gonna see um Shingun doing it because he still can't. He hasn't mastered how to actually initiate the offense totally, and Houston don't understand what they really want to do yet. You know what I'm saying? Like there's multiple big men who have the opportunity to attempt to try to do what
That's
we see him do, but
that's well
it ain't
that's
gonna
one
happen
of that's one
for
of
a long time.
that's one of a kind court vision though.
That's what I'm
You
trying to
can't,
tell
you
you.
know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to
That's
tell
one
you,
of a
man.
kind
Look,
court
hold
vision,
on.
and to be
Last
able to
thing.
get you the ball
Hey,
and to be able to get it to you.
I get it. I get it, Face, and I'm right there with you, man.
So
All
what I'm
right.
saying is this:
Yeah.
what you saying, talking about the giant killers and all, that
Yeah,
man just took
giant
that
killer.
man down 7 game series. You feel me?
Giant killer.
So you really think they finna let an ant kill him? They just killed a goddamn giant. Boy, you think they gonna let an ant kill him? They better sit his ass down, boy, and get him count.
You
Get on
talking about
count,
that
cause hey, guess
Gillosaurus
what?
that you keep seeing in the commercials? The
Man, I'm
Gillosaurus you
sending
keep seeing
shots.
in the commercials?
I'm sending shots all kind of way. I don't give a damn. I respect him as a player. He good. He great.
Look, hold up.
But guess what?
Hold up.
It's a team sport. It's
Last
a
thing,
team sport.
last thing I want to
That's
speak
all
about
I
Ant.
hate. He
Hold up,
know that.
Face. Last thing I want to speak about Ant now. I like the youngster, but when the
Yeah,
youngster
I
came
do
out there,
too.
you know, but when
I
the
do
youngster,
too.
hold
I
up,
love his
hold on,
heart.
let me speak
I ain't
now. Let
taking
me
nothing from
speak.
him, but I'm just
When Ant came out and said he didn't want to be the face of the league, when Ant came out and said he didn't want that pressure, that
nah,
let
it
me
ain't that
know
pressure.
where his
That man
head's at.
ain't finna put on no dress. That
I
man
don't
ain't
know,
finna put on
dress.
that dress. No. Look at LeBron
Michael
James.
Jordan put on a
You see the
dress.
flops and shit that
Hold
man
on.
doing.
Did Michael
He in the
Jordan put on a
WWE
dress?
already.
Pause. Did
LeBron
Michael
James gonna
Jordan
be
put
a
on a
wrestler
dress?
after this.
Did
Watch.
Kobe put on a dress? Did Shaq put
LeBron
on a
James gonna be a
dress?
wrestler after NBA.
Hold on, let me keep naming them now. We're talking about faces in the league. Um, did Shaq, Kobe, or Michael Jordan put on dresses? Did Magic Johnson put on a dress? Did Larry
Michael
Bird?
Jordan.
Did Larry Bird put on a dress?
Michael Jordan set the standards.
No, no, no,
Michael
no,
Jordan
no,
set
no,
the
no, no, no,
standards.
no,
You
no, no,
crazy as
no, no, no,
hell.
no, no, no. He
Shit, me.
took the game and took the league to another height through his which is the same thing his
But guess
predecessors
what?
did.
And
That's
he
what's
took.
supposed to
But
happen.
guess.
We ain't gonna
But
sit here
guess.
and say that the man.
He did. Cause
We
guess
didn't
what? He
hand his
still
dick
getting paid
several
off his
times.
shoes and shit. Them
Yeah,
dude got
that's what I'm talking about. He done took the
250,000,
game. He done took the
300,000,
game.
and they washed up, gone broke right now, and
Magic
they people
Johnson is
still
a
selling their
billionaire.
shoes.
He is not washed up
I
broke.
ain't talking about Magic
That's
Johnson.
what I'm talking about.
I'm saying we talking
I'm talking
about
about the faces
who's.
of the league.
But guess what?
Kobe would be washed up broke right now if Kobe
Everybody
was
was
still
getting
living.
screwed by the league until Jordan came, and really his old girl, the one told him
No,
we
I
could have.
didn't. Hold on, face. I did not dispute that. I said I ain't speaking on the man's business acumen and what he did for the league.
Oh,
I said he did what his predecessors did. His predecessors came and saved the NBA. Okay, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson saved the NBA. Okay, then after they saved the NBA, okay, then Michael Jordan took the NBA to another level. And then after that happened, then you had three-peat Shaq and Kobe, which was a whole nother era, a whole nother just a change in the game. Then after that, then you had Timmy Duncan, nothing but fundamentals, and Manu Ginobili, Euro stepping, and all this craziness. And then after that, then you had LeBron, and then after that, you had Curry. Now look,
no, no, no,
we
no,
are
no.
watching.
Okay,
The last thing
let
let
me
me close this
hold
up.
on.
The last thing I want
Let
to
me
say, we are
clarify something.
watching a handing off of the
Let
ball.
me
Right
clarify
now,
something.
you see no Curry, you see no LeBron in this. It's either going to be Hallie or Brunson or
Okay.
or
Let me hold
Ant-Man.
on, Let me clarify
Face
exactly
of the
what I'm
league,
saying,
one
bro.
and four.
Let me clarify exactly what I'm saying, bro. Before Jordan, how many billionaire players did you have in the league? Or there were players that were making billions of dollars out of, that's
Before
what I'm
Jordan
saying.
got to the Billy,
Before Jordan, which NBA player ever became a billionaire?
Magic
No, I'm
almost
saying,
hold up. Magic almost beat him to the Billy, but Magic didn't beat him to
but
the
no,
Billy. He
but guess
almost
what?
beat him, but he
Magic
didn't.
was there to watch. Magic was there to watch and see what was going on too. Magic was on his way out though.
No,
But
I'm talking about a
Magic was up.
billion. Hold on, Michael didn't make
No,
$1
I'm just
billion
saying
out the
we
league.
talking about
Yeah,
strictly basketball players.
Yeah, strictly
Michael
basketball.
Jordan,
Magic
that's what I'm
Johnson
talking
and
about.
Michael
Once he
Jordan,
opened their eyes, now look how many came after him
bro.
since Jordan.
So what do
Look
you?
how many billionaires. Hold on. Look how many billionaires done came since Jordan.
Just one.
Who?
LeBron.
LeBron.
Ain't
Hold on,
nobody else a
LeBron.
billionaire.
Who?
It's just LeBron and Michael Jordan and Magic, and then the center.
Yeah, Magic.
Center. It's a center or a shooting guard that used to play for back in the day. I think he played with Chicago back in the day.
But
He's
guess
a
what?
billionaire too. We got about three dudes. But anyway, hey, look, we got to get this posted. It's great being back with y'all. It's great being back talking with y'all, man. I got to get this video up. We're going to get another video done real quick while I'm sitting here putting this other video up, man. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. It was great hollering at y'all, man. Y'all already know what it is. This your homeboy, A1 Trey. That's my dog Face, man. And we out. Peace.
Peace.